So there comes a time when you want to sit down and do a bit of gaming, and maybe you've got an hour to kill, and you wonder which game to launch. Well, for me, recently, there's just been one game really. Time and time again, every time I sit down, it's the only game I've really wanted to play, because it's got so much variety. Looking at some of these stunning images from this game, it's hard to question why play anything else. If you just want to do some racing, sure, you can jump on LMU or Assetto Corsa-VR-Pimax, iRacing, whatever floats your boat. But if you're just wanting to enjoy driving, enjoy racing, enjoy driving circuits that a lot of other games don't offer, and cars that games just don't offer, this is just the only game out there for me. I don't know why I would put anything else in my PC to launch. I mean, look at these stunning images, and these are all in-game images. So recently I've downloaded the RSS pack that's got all these beautiful GT3 cars in, and in this video we're going to be looking at each one of them through an 8-minute lap around Fontenay, a fantastic circuit that I really have fallen in love with. So at the start of the video we'll listen to each of these cars, how they sound, have a look inside the cockpit, and just let me know in the comments which one you think sounds the best. And then we'll do an 8-minute lap around this stunning circuit, and then I'll delve into the deeper, darker setup options within the Pimax Crystal Super. So let's get into it. So hello and welcome back to the channel. It's been a long time since we've done a video. As you can see, I've just got a clear aligner in, just trying to get my teeth back in alignment. But yeah, in this portion of the video, hopefully you've enjoyed the first portion. But in this portion, we're going to be looking at how to launch Assetto Corsa and to be able to use OpenXR toolkit so that we can adjust foveated rendering and maybe just tweak a few things that we want to be able to tweak. But there are some issues with launching it. So I'm just going to close this. I'll try and show you how to capture that footage as well, but I don't particularly think you need to be able to see that. So currently we're capturing the desktop, and I'm just going to go through the whole process that I would go through launching it. So first we need to launch Steam to be able to access Assetto Corsa. But we're not going to be running the game physically through Steam VR, which is unusual really. Obviously this is using the Pimax headset. It might be different for other people's headsets. But there's just no there's no menus or videos for how to do these things. You would think, I got this weird error message because I've not used Open Composite, cannot support type, okay. So this will crash Steam and I'll just have to launch it again. Because we're using Open Composite, I'll show you what that is shortly. So once we've launched Steam, all we need to do is have it launched. So we can just close that down again now. And I'll just show you what Open Composite is, just something you'll find online. And as you can see, we're not using Switch to Steam VR, we've got Switch to Open Composite launched. And you can see in there that we're using Open Composite as a default runtime, and Assetto Corsa is within that group. And you could just close that, you don't need to have it open at all. So then I'm going to launch Pimax Play. This will fire up the headset. And you'll usually switch from the display port, so the screen will usually go black and then switch over once it's connected. And there you go. So then we can come into the headset settings and just cycle down. And I always input manually my IPD number. Your interpupillary distance. And then we can go to games, set Assetto Corsa, which I've set up before. And I'd usually run this around 90. And we'll have a look at what that comes out in number-wise for resolution shortly. But there's nothing else that we can have checked because we're not running this through Pimax Play. Another thing that we want to look at in your general settings is that we're using Pimax XR, and you'll need to download Pimax XR toolkit to be able to run this. And don't get me wrong, you can run this through Steam VR, but you cannot run OpenXR toolkit because Assetto Corsa no longer launches through Steam. We use the separate, I forget what it's called now, content manager. So if you could launch through Steam into a content manager, you could run this through Steam VR. But because we're wanting to use OpenXR toolkit, you can't launch through, you would normally just launch it through here, Steam services or my assets. You would usually just launch Assetto Corsa here, or if I was going to launch Le Mans Ultimate, you'd launch it from here. But because we're not using Steam VR, it won't launch properly. So just making sure that you've got in your advanced, that we're using Pimax XR. So you just minimize that. And we'll come to launch OpenXR Toolkit. Again, you'll need to download this You'll find it online, no problem. And just have set up, so when I press Alt and X, it's going to launch in my headset. And you don't need to have this up on screen, you can just minimize it. And again, as we launch Pimax XR runtime, you will see here, this is the resolution that's coming through my headset. Now, if we just close that down again, and we come back to the device, come into games, and if I just go to high and apply that, so using the maximum resolution in the headset, close that down and relaunch Pimax XR, you'll see the new resolution here. I don't particularly think that running the higher resolution within this game gives you any better visual quality, to be honest. I think it runs better at 90. So, sorry, if we just close that down again, come back into Pimax, come back into games, and just go to customize and just drop it down to 90. I think it runs better, and I don't think you can see a massive visual difference. Even with 40 cars on the grid and rendering all 40 cars, the frame rate still doesn't suffer at all. Obviously, I'm running this on a 5090. So coming back to open Pimax XR, and you can see we've dropped the resolution down to this figure now. I don't particularly think we need to run it that high even. I might have actually run this in something completely different, but I think it runs better, much lower down. So let's just close that. Come back into Pimax XR. And I might even just try this on 80 and see if that's better. Because I don't think you can see much of a noticeable difference, and you'll increase the frame rates much better. Obviously, I'm running this on a 57 PPD headset, so even with a lower resolution, it still looks better than most headsets. So open Pimax XR again, and we can see we've dropped. That's a better figure to be looking at, 3480, or even 3200, something like that. So that again just needs to be running in the background, and then we can launch Assetto Corsa Content Manager. If we come to drive, and we just come back to, I've just been running in Tourist on Fontenay. Obviously you've just watched the video. I would like to get traffic working, but I don't seem to be, every time I download it from Overtake GG, it doesn't recognize that there's anything in the folder for some reason. I need to look into that a little bit more. So I am running, let me see if I can show you as well. If we go into Patreon, I am running Night Venoms, custom shader patch, settings and PP filters. So I definitely recommend downloading those. So if we come into Content Manager, and just because I'm running this on a single screen, I'm just going to switch this to run in my headset. So you need to open VR, and I've got photorealism. He has actually got a VR setting, so I'm just going to put that on, and then come into, I need to reduce the frames per second down to 90. World detail, you can actually bring this down to very high. Just gets rid of the men stood in the pits just holding a pit board. So we come into the custom shader patch and just load in VR realism. So there's a lot of things changed throughout all of this. I'm not going to run into that, but if you download his setup, it's only $1 a month. It's definitely worth every penny, I think. And then we'll just go to launch it. So this is going to launch in my headset. So if I just pick my headset up right now and put it on, you won't be able to see what's in my headset. I don't think I can actually see what's in my headset. If I just open that and minimize that, yeah, you can't see what's in my headset until, hopefully when we launch into the game, it'll come up. So if I just switch to that and we launch the game, so I can just see the Pimax home screen really. So as we launch into the game now, hopefully you can see. See on the screen now, you can't see OpenXR Toolkit actually running. So if I launch, just do that again. Not that. I don't know why that's gone like that. Yeah, just need to close that down. So yeah, if I launch and we go, if I close that down and launch this one. So now you can see, hopefully, if I minimize that, because I can't have it on screen and actually use the menus. So now you can see down the bottom, we've got it's the GPU runtime that we're looking at. And we're running 6.5 milliseconds, which is way above where we need. I mean, just look how stunning that is. Just looking through the clouds or the trees. And I did download, there is an add-on to adjust these trees, because they do look terrible, to be honest. But it does eat quite a lot of FPS, I think. I did notice it stuttering. I did actually unload it altogether. I'm just going to exit from here and I'll just jump in the car. Actually, I've not turned my wheel on. But yeah, I think with lowering the resolution, because I think I had the resolution quite high still, lowering the resolution, you could probably get away with adding the extra trees in, which they do look much better, to be honest. So I'm just going to put this headset on. We'll launch into the game. Yeah, we'll have a look inside this car because they are stunning, the RSS cars. And I definitely recommend just go to the website, download everything that's on the website. It probably cost you about $25, but every single car is so beautifully recreated. That feels very weird. Yeah, that felt very weird for a second. So I just press Control and Space to reset the car. And then we'll just have a look inside the car. Again, just Control and Space. Let's get inside the car. So just pressing F1 there to get inside and then just recentering it. And I'll just recenter it to see. I mean, look at that sky. If we just come into the pure planner and just add some clouds to that sky. Just looks stunning, doesn't it? So as you can see there, 5.6, 5.6 milliseconds. We've got so much headroom, 50% headroom on the GPU. I'm just going to move my keyboard out of the way, just slide in a touch. But just looking round, I mean the detail. I mean look at the detail in the gloves. The dashboards are stunning. Just close that down. It's weird, the mirror actually. It's like the further you move away from it, the further it comes in. That definitely needs adjusting. But the wing mirrors and everything are all set, just moving around. But just driving around, it's just absolutely stunning. just turn a little bit of the lap. But these maps are absolutely stunning by Alpha, Fat Alpha. I mean, the grass in the other version is so much better, but it was just killing my FPS. There was just a few points within the lap that it was just really dropping. But it really is stunning to drive with this headset on. Oh, that went very wrong. Yeah, it's just stuttering. I think because I've not got my base set up. Let's just come out of there because that is very confusing. Just recenter that. Just exit. Just having issues with, because I've not done. Let's go into here and just room settings. Just put my headset on. I'm just going to click on the top, quick setup mode. And I'm just seated in a large space. And it knows where the floor is. I think it was just struggling with the tracking within my headset. So I just close that down. I'm just going to launch it again just to see if that was where the issue was. I definitely recommend using this top head strap as well. So I'm not sure if it's picking up what's on the screen there. So we'll jump back into the car. That seems much better. And I'll just sit back a little bit while I recenter that. We'll just go straight out. Oh. Yeah, just a few issues there. Never had that before. It's just losing. Maybe it's because of the camera and there's a mirror. I've got a mirror just up here. It's just messing with. I wonder why it's doing that. It feels like it's something that's running that's causing a few issues. So you can see the GPU's just not struggling at all. 6 milliseconds is loads of time. Plenty of room to add extra cores. So let's just go in and do that just to show you how much. I mean, even the smoke off the discs there is fantastic. So if we leave that and come out, yeah, I think it's just the mirror that I've got here that shows me what I'm recording is the issue. And if we go into race, and if we just add, let's add some of these cars in. But just remember when you're launching in the Pimax headset, you want to be seeing the Pimax background and not Steam VR if you're wanting to use the OpenXR toolkit. if you're not bothered about using the OpenXR toolkit, then you could launch this using Steam VR. But it just allows us, with OpenXR toolkit, we can run foveated rendering, which does help us out with the frame rates. Oh, I forgot we were in the tourist version, so you can see all the cars in here. This is going to be actually funny because you'll just watch them all try and get out of the pit at the same time when I launch this. This is quite actually funny to watch. But I'll quickly have a look in the OpenXR toolkit. So you can see that these are the values. You can see in there, that's the, I don't think I'm changing that. But this is the foveated rendering section that I'm running. So it is you can use the presets, but that's what I'm running. And we'll just let that close out. You can see it just stuttering there. It's like the frame's locked. I'm not sure if that's to do with OBS and everything else that's filming at the minute. I've never had that stuttering before. So let's just watch all these try and get out of the pit. We'll just recenter that and get in the car. At least it's allowing us to launch. So I'll just jump in the car. And let's just watch all these try and get out of the pits. Absolute carnage. They've just got no control at all. Just looks like a steaming mess. Absolutely pouring out smoke from those tires. That's crazy, isn't it? I suppose you could get around the back, but I'll launch it in a different game. I still think, I mean, the video that I did at the start of this has 20 cars in it. And I only did that because with 40 cars on the grid, they just don't seem to be able to get out and do a full lap. But I mean, look at that GPU runtime, 7.4. And you can see all the way down there, 40 cars ahead of me. We've even got a BMW out there. And you'll just see as you set off, every single car ahead of us, 7 milliseconds, still loads of headroom. BMW is going to get absolutely smoked. This is the thing with the AI, they just don't seem to cover off any of this. So it just felt like cheating. And yeah, just getting issues with tracking at the minute. The mirror's really affecting the tracking. See, this is what happened when I had 40 cars on the grid. Yeah, something's messing around with the tracking. I think it's OBS. Or maybe it's the mirror that I've got angled. But again, just focusing on that frame time. It does sound awesome when you get close to this Aston. Listen to that. Still there. But it's coming back. He's not going to give in through here either. There'll be a huge pilot down there, I'm sure there is. You see we've got the yellow flag. They all just smash into that bump. They're always super cautious through there. It's just absolutely flat out. Same again through here. So it doesn't actually show us on that list where we've moved. Try and keep that guy behind. The BMW actually sounds amazing as well, along with this Audi. Too deep. Knew it was there. This is a tight one as well. See if we can get him on the inside here. Under braking. Oh, a bit too eager there. I can hear that BMW, I can't see it. And if you'll have a little lift through here. Oh, he's run deep as well. Definitely wasn't planning on doing this full lap. But it's fastly becoming one of my favourite circuits. Not sure we'll get these. Might get one. Nice. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the video. You can see there that we're running really nicely. Obviously we've got a few issues with the mirror causing problems with the head tracking and stuff, but usually that's not there. But I've never actually filmed with the headset on before. But yeah, the detail, still absolutely stunning. No problems reading anything. Hopefully it comes across in the video okay. Yeah, absolutely stunning. Even getting out of the car really and looking around. It's fantastic. Yeah, so hopefully you enjoyed that video, longer than I wanted it to be. I'll probably end up cutting that down quite considerably. But yeah, until next time, thanks for watching. Ciao for now.